Hey guys, this is Zenis with Tech Lingo, and today we're going to look at the top 10 what's hot and what's not about the Xiaomi Redmi 2. The Xiaomi Redmi 2 is really light and it fits your hand perfectly. It comes in with a 4.7-inch screen, and the phone has pretty small bezels, so its body size isn't too far from it. And it's very pocketable, so I don't struggle with putting my pants, or I don't have any issues using this phone with one hand. One thing I have mixed feelings about is its user interface. So MIUI, which is Xiaomi's operating software, is pretty similar to what you expect from Apple, even though it's an Android system. So if you're an Android purist who likes an app drawer, who likes the customizability, you're not gonna get its full experience on the Xiaomi. But if you're someone who's using an Apple product right now and thinking of switching to Android, I mean, the Xiaomi doesn't deviate too far from what you are familiar with. So it depends on you, whether you want to get the phone or not. So an issue I have with the Redmi 2 is its screen. It's not resolution that I have a problem with. It comes in 720p, which is okay. But it's color temperature. Sometimes it looks rather warm and sometimes very cool. I'm not sure what they did with the adaptive display, but it's just not the most appealing. At the back of the device, we see a 8-megapixel camera, and this is pretty disappointing in fact, because I've taken this out with me to just snap at some random shots in good lighting and also in bad lighting, and yeah, both times it disappoints me, in either scenario. It's just not, the processor isn't that great, so images don't look crisp, don't look vibrant. 8 megapixels shouldn't be that bad. I mean, the iPhone has 8 megapixels and takes excellent shots. But even though I expect this to, I don't expect this to take like a flagship device, but I expect this to at least offer me pictures that I can use, to either print them out or to just share with others, and it doesn't. So yeah, pretty disappointing. So if we flip over to the back of the device, we see that Xiaomi has placed their speakers at the back. And to me, in my personal opinion, I think this is a horrendous place to place your speakers. Because if I'm putting it on the table, it mutes the speaker. If I'm holding it in my hand, it's firing the speaker outwards, not towards my face. So I'm not a big fan of the speakers being at the back, and quality-wise, they're only decent, something you expect from most phones out there now. So if Xiaomi could change something up, maybe place them at the bottom at least, or I mean, if they're investing in something else, place it in the front. Yeah. So I'm really loving the removable back on the Xiaomi Redmi 2. For me, this removable back, it comes in handy when I want to change up the colors. I can just buy one from Xiaomi, and yeah, it just gives you customizability options, so that's always a big plus in my books. So if you're looking at the back of the phone, you can see that Xiaomi has a replaceable battery as well. And this is really good. I mean, you don't find this on most phones nowadays. If I find that the battery isn't living up to its standard, so if I've used it for 1 year and it's giving me horrendous battery life, I can just buy up a new one from the store, and it'll probably give me, brand new battery life. So, good job Xiaomi on this. So looking further into the Xiaomi, you can see that what they have done is to incorporate a expandable storage. So now, even though the phone only has a really small 8GB memory, I can just expand the storage by including a 64GB SD card, and there you go, it's 72 gigs, bigger than the iPhone you have. So what I'm frequently asked is, how fast can the phone actually run? A Xiaomi phone like this, it's pitched at the budget market, so you don't expect flagship processing power. It actually runs pretty alright, I know it's gotten a lot of hate, the MIUI, for its memory management issues, but with my daily use of this, I don't have much of a problem. I mean, the RAM is 1GB, quite small compared to most other phones, but if I'm going to the multitasking right here, it only tells me that it's eating up about 20%, 30% of it, so not an issue unless you're a hardcore user. Xiaomi's latest device, the Redmi 2, only comes in at $169. I mean, the phone doesn't even feel that cheap, and so far there's no discoloration of the whites, and no real scratches, so pretty happy. So that's been the top 10 what's hot and what's not about the Xiaomi Redmi 2. Now, let's just talk about some things to take note of. This phone, to me, is a perfect phone if you're getting it for your kid or for your friend. If you're looking for something cheap for Christmas gift, perfect phone. So another thing to note is that the device has a lock button that's placed below the volume button. This is not something you see often. And if I'm using it normally, so when I'm clicking it like that, it feels a bit awkward. You know, I'm usually always hitting the volume button to lock my phone. It's not the most user-friendly, and I think they could have just switched it up. Yeah. So Xiaomi also comes with capacitive buttons, and it's indicated by the red ones over here, if you can see it. Can you see it? Yeah. So the problem I have with this phone, which is the same mistake they made with the previous generation, is that it isn't lighted up. So when I was in the cinemas, I couldn't really identify where the front, whether I was using it upside down or this way, and it was quite frustrating. So if you're using it in a dark room, it'll give you problems. But other than that, I think it's not doing much. It's not a deal breaker in that sense. So one thing I realized with this second generation of the Redmi is that when I compared it with my cousin's phone, she's using the first generation, the screen didn't go as bright. So that's quite surprising, right? But actually, I think it's a plus point because the screen doesn't look as washed out as it did on the first generation. And also, if you're into bedtime reading, don't tell your mom, this phone can go pretty dim. So if you're looking at using it secretively, you know, in your bed, under the sheets. So last up, the MIUI 6 comes with a theme store for you to customize your phone. And it's really not that bad. Like, it has a lot of themes. So if you're a weeboo, if you're into anime and manga, you can probably find something there. If you're someone who has, fantasy issues, find something there. And yeah, if you're just looking to customize your phone, the theme store is always there for you. So I actually enjoyed it quite a bit, so just have a close up. Alright, okay. So I hope you found those notes useful. And if you're looking to get the Redmi 2, I think it's honestly worth a buy. I didn't have much of a problem. I would still go for the latest flagship, but that's just for me because I like cool new stuff. But if you're looking for something that offers you decent quality for a cheap price, go ahead. Xiaomi Redmi 2, it's worth a buy. So if you haven't checked out our unboxing for the Redmi 2, click over here. And if you haven't seen our latest video on the jawbone, click over here. And if you haven't subscribed, click over here. Click. Yep, got it. Okay. And do leave us comments below, and also like this video if you have enjoyed it. Thanks guys.